Caroline, apologies for that. I just wanted to make sure people can hear you. Just in terms of how big an operation this is.
Well, it's a very complicated operation because it involves muscles, veins, nerves, lymphatic system, everything. So you need very skilled surgeons. Of course, the operation has been done in other countries, but not very often. We're not talking about hundreds. We're talking about maybe a dozen or less women in the world.
No, it's not very widespread. I suppose my question is, I mean, again, I would never wish infertility on anybody who desperately wants a child. I certainly did and went through my battles. But and this sounds like a callous question. I'm delighted they've had their baby, and it's wonderful that her sister donated to her. In other cases, I know it's been someone who's died, whose uterus has been transplanted. However, well, I suppose one could argue that, you know, if she could have her eggs and her husband's sperm, they could have an embryo, they could have it implanted in a surrogate. A lot of people might argue, is this a good use of any medical resources when there are plenty of other ways she could have had her own baby? She didn't necessarily need to have to carry it herself. Was this an operation that was worth the risk to her, possibly her baby, or indeed to her own sister to donate her uterus in this scenario?
Oh, yes, I would have said so. I mean, you're quite right. Pregnancy doesn't matter to some women. Pregnancy, you know, not every woman wants to be pregnant. A lot of women are desperate to be pregnant, to go through pregnancy, to go through labour and to give birth to their baby.
Yeah, I find that strange. I had terrible pregnancies with the morning sickness, but certainly by 3 months I was fine. But I just wanted to have my own baby and have a happy, healthy baby. I kind of did, you know, everything else was secondary.
Well, you're quite right, and there are lots of women like you, Julia, but there are also lots of women who really want to be pregnant and who want to go through the whole experience. And it's terribly important to them.
And this is never going to be widespread, is it? Because I mean, there are women who are born with wombs that basically don't function. But this is never going to be something that's going to be on a widespread basis, is there? Is there you know, this is useful medical knowledge that can be used in other cases?
It's incredibly important. It's nearly as important as the IVF breakthrough.
Really?
Have you seen the wonderful film Joy, starring Bill Nighy, all about the birth of Louise Brown, who was the first IVF baby? It makes you cry. It's magic.
Oh! I mean, God, I sat in an IVF clinic for a year. I know how important that is to people. I absolutely, you know, wouldn't wish infertility on my worst enemy. I really wouldn't. I think, you know, every baby that's wanted. 3 cheers! Oh my gosh, we need more babies. But I mean, in terms of where this technology takes us, this skill takes us, do you think, you know, we'll all benefit from this because these are skills, this is more knowledge, and it will benefit everybody in the end?
It will benefit everybody in the end because it will not only help women who haven't got a uterus or whose uterus is there. It will do more in fallopian tube surgery, or, you know, they'll learn so much from it, and they'll get much better at it, and it'll get much cheaper, and it is magical.
And that will help more couples in the end. Okay, you persuaded me. I mean, you persuaded me. Former President of the Royal College of Midwives, Caroline Flint. I'm sorry our time was curtailed because of the problems with the sound, but I'm glad we got you on much better sound there. 12:47 is the time. Tom Slater, it's your thoughts on this? You know, it is such a difficult area, but it's bad enough. Most women can't even get NHS IVF, you know, let alone anything else.
No, absolutely. And I'm in favour of more or less anything that actually helps people, you know, have children if they want to, just because by sheer, you know, silly biological lottery circumstances that's not been possible. There's always going to be that argument under our healthcare system where the resources are allocated, but surely in general we can see this as a positive
thing. Congratulations. Any baby that's wanted, fabulous. I'm very, very happy for you.